Hey, good morning. So, what do you call Parmesan cheese that doesn't stay where you left it? Migrating cheese, of course. Cheese Friday. You know you're excited for it too. Good morning and happy Cheese Friday. So, I have an awesome cheese for us today. This is the uh, Bella Vitano Scotch whiskey cheese. And this was a one for at Costco, as you can see from the Kirkland brand. So they package it special for them. Um, Bella Bella Vitano cheeses. We've had some of them before. We've had the Merlot and the Cabernet Sauvignon, which on their website is not always available. The Merlot is, the Cab is not. That's usually packaged for Costco. They have a partnership. You can't buy the Scotch whiskey direct from them right now. They do have one that's a Tennessee whiskey. So, but even though we've had them in the past, we usually talked about the actual Merlot cheese. And this time I just wanted to give you a little information about Bella Vitano. Their cheeses are a cheddar parmesan kind of blend. It's neither cheddar nor parmesan, but it has hints of both. Uh, and then they flavor it by either rubbing, because they've got like a black pepper and some other herb rubbed ones, or they soak it in the case of like the Merlot, or in this case, the whiskey. So, uh, and they do intend for you to eat the rind. A lot of times the rind has taken up a color, but as you can see here, this one is just a plain creamy color, but you can see the crystallization from the aging. Get this out of here for you. And oh, it just smells really good. So let me get this kind of angle it. But anyways, you can see the cheese is a very smooth, but also you see crystallization just starting. The cheese is aged around 14 months. Let me verify that on the package. Oh, it doesn't actually say. In general, their cheeses are aged around 14 months, so it's super nice. They are a hard cheese, so not semi-hard. They're hard, like your Parmesan Reggiano or your other aged dried cheeses. So I'm just giving this one a smell for that aroma. You can see it's got that yellow, creamy sort of look. I can't stop sniffing it. It's fantastic. It's nutty. It has just like a light whiskey scent, but like only the good part, not the part that burns your nose. A little bit of fruitiness and that nice savory sort of uh, oak sort of smell to it. Man, I'm supposed to share this with the family, but I'm just saying maybe what I actually need to do is go buy several more blocks from Costco before it goes away. Probably not because we like to change it up, but it's incredible. Anyway, so they, like I said, they're rubbed or smoked. You can trim the rind off if you really want to, but I'm telling you, if you like cheese, you should just enjoy the rind. The nice extra saltiness and the slight little bit of crunchiness you get from the aging in there is perfect. Now, the other thing about it's Sartori Bella Vitano, is actually that they're newer to the cheese world. They've only been around since like 2008. So I don't know if you guys can hear that or not, but that's my cat knocking at the door. Like, you don't come to my workspace. That's never allowed. But she really wants to come in, but no. She'll go back to bed in a little bit. So the other thing that I wanted to let you know is that be mindful if you're like me and you have celiac, maybe you might want to rethink whether you're going to eat this or not. So far it hasn't bothered me, but I don't eat it very often, like maybe once a year. Well, it only comes out once a year. So, but they do have one that's like a Tennessee whiskey brand, whiskey, and you just be mindful that whiskeys generally are grain based, so they are not certified gluten free. But I am generally pretty sensitive and it hasn't made me sick. However, there's my disclaimer. I am not a medical doctor and I'm not telling you if you have celiac that you can eat this cheese. That is very individualized where people can tolerate things or not tolerate them. And there's nothing to say that I won't eat it today and then be like later, like, oh, my stomach. I don't know why. Uh, Hopefully not, because I'm going to eat it. But at any rate, the rest of them, other than the whiskeys, I think almost everything else is certified gluten free because most cheese is gluten free, even the flavored ones. So that's the good news. This is it's a high risk, high reward sort of cheese for me. Oh, so that's the main thing. Now, pairing. The great thing about a cheese like this is that it is really, really wonderful to pair on your charcuterie boards. It goes great with super salty briny. So if you've got your olives and your cured meats, I know I say that for like almost every cheese, but no, this is especially complimentary. If you are keto, the dried fruits and the jams are probably not making your charcuterie tray. But if you do have like a sweet jam that you've made yourself, some or things like that, uh, mostly I'm thinking jam because I would make a strawberry jam, a nice with a heavy gelatin pectin uh, and no sweetener. That will pair really well with this. The flavors really go. So if you had like some berries or something on your charcuterie, it's gonna go with this kind of cheese. So the important part. Ugh, cutting a hunk off. Delightful. Like I said, it's a hard cheese, but I can still cut it but it won't take much for it to crumble. The ends get like it'll crumble real quick. So you can't really grate it. You can't shred it, but you can grate it and it'll come apart. And the most important part. Mmm, mmm. It's so good. And you get like the little crunchies here and there from the crystallization. Mmm, it's delightful. You just get a little bit of the whiskey on the back end, but it's salty and briny. And then you get like this really creamy nuttiness. Oh my God. Fantastic. Oh, you know what else this would pair with? I forgot I brought this up. Our dried meats. Yes, I jumped on that bandwagon and I dried me some beef. So the cheese will go really excellent with that. This is not my meal one though. I'm going to go make my meal one and we'll be back later with that. I don't know. I want to eat this. I'm going to save it. I'm going to save my cheese and my crisp and have it the rest with my meal one. Mm. But it'll be shortly, so I'm going to go ahead and allow this sneaky bite. Oh, mm, I'll be back. All right, everyone. So here we are with meal one. Super easy. I just stir fried up a little bit of my leftover thin sliced beef. I decided that I didn't want to dehydrate the rest of it. I'm just eating it. So, and then I have my slice of dried beef that I showed you when I was looking at the cheese. And like an ounce and a half of the cheese. That's my meal one. I also have coffee. And I'm splurging this morning on a fizzy drink. So I've got a plain old seltzer, zero, just your generic Kroger brand. So easy peasy. That's about all the effort for today. As far as my meal one goes, I am going to meal prep some egg roll in a bowl because I have some ground pork that needs cooked up. The rest of my day, I've got to finish up some of the tapestry things for OhioCon. Oh boy, the task list is enormous. I hate to say it, but I believe I have to go out today because I have to drop off some card sleeves to one of my staff members so that they can work on our power cube. But oh God, you guys, if you love magic, our power cube is so amazing. You could come to the con just to play magic and it would be fantastic. Um, Obviously there's lots of other things that make the convention fantastic, but that power cube, if you like Magic the Gathering, I'm just telling you, it's special. So that's it. I'll be back in a little bit. I kind of want to hear some more about some of the stress management, talk about some of the things that we can do during those occasions, because as you know, stress raises your cortisol, all of that fun stuff. So we'll be back and we'll work on that. Okay, people, here's a new ask. So I'm still spinning, looking for something that would be effective and good for non-keto people, especially leaning towards the breakfasty aisle now because not just snacks, but really that morning time is when people are most going to be likely to not have made it to the food court. Uh, the main hotel does not have free breakfast, so it occurred to me that that might be the way to go. Plus, uh, pretty much when I go to like corporate meetings and stuff, people eat that garbage all day, bagels and such. Now, I know that I have one staff member who is allergic to dairy, and I don't mean just allergic to, uh, or just, they're not lactose intolerant. I mean, they are, but they're actually allergic to dairy unless it's been cooked into like a baked good, and a lot of baked goods don't have dairy. So there was a part of me that thought, what if I just buy a crap ton of bagels? I could get a variety at Costco, no problem, easy peasy. They will last for Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. I might have to put them in the cooler, but that's survivable. And cream cheese packets, which means I could eat cream cheese, no problem. So double benefit. Um, so it's a contender. Then I thought, you know what? Maybe someone who doesn't eat cream cheese would still want something to put on the bagel. What? And they don't eat butter, so it doesn't matter if I have butter or not. Uh, but I was like, what about nut butter? I was like, I could just get nut butter packs. You guys, there are like all 9 million kinds of packets of nut butter, and none of them are both things, cost effective and good. There are a lot of them that call themselves natural peanut butter, and it's still peanuts, palm oil, sugar, and salt. Now listen, peanut butter should have two things: peanut butter, or well, peanuts and salt. I get it that sometimes they do need to add oil, but if they're going to put palm oil in there, which still doesn't thrill me, then it needs to at least have that asterisk to talk about it being sustainably obtained. And none of them have that. Even the bougie brands that cost like a fortune, like the Justine's all natural butter, nut butter, forget it. So now I'm like, well, do I not worry about it because I'm already buying them bagels because I think that people will eat them? Maybe. So maybe this takes it out of consideration. But then I was like, but listen, some of this stuff has to go home with me. And now bagels I can slice and freeze and throw to the college students, no problem. I could probably do the same thing with peanut butter. But I feel like if I'm going to spend a fortune on something, it ought to at least be good. Which leads me to now down that other rabbit hole. Do I buy just like giant jars of the really good almond butter from Costco and then put them into those little cups myself? Does that bother people? I know that it gets weird sometimes about taking stuff from people's home kitchens, especially when they know they have pets. My pets are fine. They don't get like on counters or anything like that, and they're generally not in the food preparation area. But I know that's not true most places because I watch a lot of TikTok where people have like their cats on the counter. Like, gross. Absolutely no. But I could see it going and being like, man, where did these cups of peanut butter come from? And do I want to eat them? And is that a good idea? It's a concern. I definitely feel like it would be better to have stuff that was prepackaged, but that prepackaged shit is crap. What is up with that? Why does no one have like good peanut butter in packets? Even the good stuff is it's just definitely not cost effective, which makes me feel like it would be nice to go to Fresh Time and buy the ground peanuts out of that grinding machine, and then again just put it into those little Jello cup containers. The dressing cups. Yes, they're not Jello shot containers, but they are. But those little cups, and it would be a pain in the behind, quite frankly, but it would still be a better option. I don't know. I'm still looking for help here, folks. I've gone crazy. I'm still off the deep end. I cannot rein this in, and I don't know why. So, on to better things. If it is stupid cold where you are, it is stupid cold here. It is not great outside. Uh, we're going to have to clear our sidewalk, no problem. We'll get it done, but it is so, so cold. That wind is what's making it even worse. It's stupid cold without the wind, and then you add the wind on there. No, thank you. Uh, my cat that goes outside was like very in distress, like begging and begging to go outside. And I was like, you don't want to go outside. And the crying and the scraping at the door. And then, earlier she was scraping at my door because she really wanted to go outside. Finally, I said, fine, fine. And I opened the door and she went outside and she ran onto the porch where there was it's snow all the way up to our door. And we have, you know, a coverage on our porch. And she ran out there and immediately, I started to be funny and I started to close the door, but I already knew. And she turned and she ran and like zipped back in before I even got the door closed. I knew she would. Like, I know that she doesn't understand people, but I was like, I feel like she could have got that inflection when I was like, you don't want to do that. So, anyways, she does not want to go outside anymore. She is now sleeping peacefully. And our butter cat asked me to turn on the heater. Like, we have a little heater in one of the bedrooms, and he actually went and he was like rubbing on the heater and then would come and meow at me and then would run back to the heater. I was like, okay, fine. So I've turned it on low in there for them. So, yeah. And then we have the third cat who's just like, hey, woman, where's my food? And it's already there. But what he really wants is some of my food, and I ate it. So I do not give him my people food, but other people in the household give him people food because he has expert begging face. And I tell them, don't do that. It gives him bad habits and it's not good for his tummy. But so be it. I guess it's actually not bad because usually it's like a piece of bacon. So not a whole piece, like a little crumble. So, I guess it's not that bad for him, but I feel like I don't like the animals getting people foods from the people. People food in an animal plate where they are fed separately of their own accord, yes. People food off my plate? Absolutely not. In fact, I don't want them hanging around where I'm eating. So they can hang around after I've eaten. And so, anyways, the whole point is I don't know what I'm doing. I have this lovely veneer of everything being glorious, but underneath the covers, we're looking at how you make the sausage, and let me tell you, it's not pretty. I'm telling you, the convention's going to be amazing. Matreya's house, however, probably some chaos for about 3 weeks. Everybody's going to be real glad when we're done for a year. But little do they know, planning for the next year starts right after we're done. Fortunately, that doesn't mean acquiring the stuff. All the stuff will get put away neat and tidy until about, again, November time. Then it all hits the fan again. We'll be slightly less chaotic next year. So I gotta figure this stuff out. But it's so stressful. I know I am wound up extra tight, which leads me to stress reduction. I had gotten away from meditation. I've been a big fan of that. We've talked about it. We've done special YouTubes. And so I've set aside a block of time in the morning. I have set myself an alarm and, well, 2 alarms so it goes off. I'm supposed to do my task and then it'll go off again when I'm done. And I've set that time aside for quiet meditation. I've got my meditation bench out. I've set up my little meditation play music, and I've put it into uh, my office, so I'm not downstairs in the public where other people are, It'll just be me when my door gets closed and nobody comes in or out. So I'm going to put that meditation back in place. The other thing is, I'm still not back to my regular exercise, and I think I'm really starting to feel it. I know I've gained some pudginess, which I do not enjoy. It doesn't feel good. And I think that I've got to figure out a better routine. So while I did try to get on my bike and I rode a little bit, and immediately I could feel it all up my leg and my ankle, it was too soon. So I put a stop to that. I'm going to give it a little bit more time. So I think what I'm going to try is maybe some couple, either some light yoga or some Pilates, and maybe, I don't know. I'm not sure yet. I'm looking through. I've actually sent a message to my friend who runs Body Fit by Amy. I highly recommend her, especially good for women. Uh, and those who are mobility limited, because she has all the modifications needed that I'm too lazy to build out for you. So I'm going to look through some of her, I know this sounds weird, pregnancy workouts, because they're a lot more gentle and they've got a lot of modification. And I feel like I could probably run with some of those and reintegrate that in. I think that's my next, I know, I keep saying that, my next step, my next step. I'm starting to feel like I'm using my ankle as an excuse because it should be mostly better now, but it's not. And my doctor said, well, it was pretty bad and maybe we should have made the surgery choice, but we did not. And it's healed up enough now. Uh, Gentle movement, start building your steps. His next solution was to start building up steps. So I'm going to do that, as well as I just feel like that gentle Pilates. I know Pilates can be not gentle and can be very intense, but entry level can be very nice. And I think that's where I'm going to start. I don't know. Like, I go to school for this shit, and yet I can't figure it out for myself. If I were talking to someone else and coaching them, I would know what to tell you. But for some reason, when I tell myself, it just in one ear, out the other. Forget it. Did it even touch my brain? I don't think so. So I know what I would tell a client in my situation, which would be to like start doing more steps, add 500 a day until you're back up to your norm. If it starts to hurt, then back it off by 100 steps. Um, yeah, I just need to start doing the hard work of being patient, but also still adding up. Like, I can't just go from 1,000 to 0 and then jump right back into 1,000. It's never going to work, and I will continue putting myself into a bad spot if that's what my expectations set up to be. So give me your tips, tricks, all your stress management things. I'm going to be integrating the meditation, and we'll go from there. Oh, and another thing. Yes, I got asked by 3 or 4 different people. I think it was 3, but I can't remember. There might have been one more message. And it came up in another live stream. Yes, I know Sunday is the 25th. No, I don't see any reason to not have my live stream. There may be fewer of us, but I don't have anything else to do at 6:30 p.m. on the 25th. And it certainly makes me happy to chat. So even if it's only a few of us, we'll just talk for a little bit less time. We're still going to try some awesome coffee because subscribers sent it to us, and it'll be delicious. And we'll make a real simple recipe. Vote down below with your comments. Do you want a stuffed waffle or do you want stuffed mushrooms? I got both, and I'm ready for both, not on one stream. I'm leaning towards the stuffed mushrooms because I've got the ground pork to spice up. And I've got an idea for it too. Let me know. Waffle or mushrooms. Could go either way. Let me know. Hey everyone. So meal 2 is once again egg roll in a bowl. And I am delighted. Now, I also used the last of my coconut aminos. There's hardly any fish sauce left in the house. And I didn't have any sesame oil. And don't get on me about my seed oil. I use like 1 teaspoon a couple times a month, maybe. So, and actually, I go long stretches of 0 a month. So, I'm not going to get in a fuss about it. It's my choice there. Is it the best choice? Maybe, maybe not, but I know some pretty hardcore ketoers who will have the occasional sesame seed oil. So, uh, is it something you want to have all the time? Probably not, but is it occasionally okay? And Dyson says hello. He is dying because my food is here and he is downstairs. Not that he gets any, but he did maybe want to watch some TV. He likes watching TV. Do you guys have a dog that likes watching TV or cats? Sometimes our Tonkinese cat likes to watch TV, especially if there's like a lot of action going on. So I'm gonna go eat my food, and then we'll come back. I'll put this all together and get this out to you because it's Cheese Friday. Cheese Friday, and it was beautiful cheese, delightful.